Hey guys, how's it going? So this is going to be the follow-up and first shots review of my new Taurus G3C. And if you're new to the channel, I've already done a couple videos on this pistol, including the unboxing, some frequently asked Q&A type questions and whatnot. And I've also done tons of other Taurus videos, so make sure you check my Taurus playlist, which I will leave down in the description, because if you're brand new to guns or brand new to Taurus pistols, I've done videos on how to inspect it when it's new, how I break in my pistol, snap caps, dry firing, all kinds of stuff like that. So like I said, definitely go check that playlist if you're new to the channel, or if you just kind of forgot and want a little refresher. So the G3C, as you guys probably already know, this is the compact version of the Taurus G3, and it has a similar shape to the G2C with some differences. And there's going to be a side-by-side Taurus G2C versus G3C video later. So my first overall impressions, I was great right out of the box, as you guys saw in my unboxing video. Well, since I've taken it out to the range, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you guys the first mag or two through the pistol. Now, I'll give you guys a teaser. I'm going to do another video very soon showing a wide variety of ammo. You guys have been asking me about hollow points, plus P, that new STV Scorpio ammo that a lot of you guys are buying for fairly cheap right now. I've tested a lot in this, so I'm going to be able to give you some good overall first impressions here. But I'm going to try to keep the video from being too long, so I'll probably break it down into several videos. But you will see me shooting in here in just a few minutes. So, alright. So, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys this. Let's just cut to the chase. I had a great time shooting it, and I'm really liking this pistol quite a bit. As far as the ergonomics goes, the texturing's rather aggressive. My personal preference is, maybe I'd rather have it just a little bit lighter like the G2C, but this isn't a problem for me because it's nothing that's really bothering my hands, and for range shooting, it's just fine. And if my hands were wet or, you know, less than desirable situation, I probably would appreciate the fact that there is quite an aggressive texturing. I like the fact that they only put the texturing where you need it on the pistol. So, grippy right where I want it, but there's nothing up here rubbing my shooting finger raw when I'm in the ready position, and also likewise with my thumb. So, the texturing's great. Now the ergonomics. This basically has the same ergos as a G2C. But if you don't have a G2C, I'll try to describe it. My hand, and I have medium-sized hands, just fits perfect on this pistol. My pinky rests very well on the little extension here, if you will, the extended floor plate on the 12-round magazine. And this is the 12-round magazine that came with it. You get 3 with this pistol. The trigger guard isn't overly undercut, but my hand does fit just right there. My middle finger fits perfect, and that's also very comfortable. This is what makes these pistols so comfortable, in my opinion, and why this G3C just fits my hand like a glove. Taurus actually paid attention and contoured this just right. So, first of all, the pattern of mag this uses is a very efficient pattern that's very thin for what you get. This is the SIG P226 pattern. Now, don't think SIG P226, because on the 226, they always add huge grips, huge frames. Some of you guys love it. Some of you guys hate it. That's for you to decide, not me. However, the mags are very thin for the amount of rounds that they hold. So it gives it overall a very thin grip. And when you come up here, right where your thumb interfaces and your shooting finger, they actually contour the frame to make it just a little bit narrower, right where it needs to be, with 2 nice scalloped areas. One that just fits perfect for me to rest here with my pointer finger, and the other one for my thumb. I mean, it's just literally, if I could have had a gun custom molded to my hand, that's exactly where I would want these scallops to be. So these are not for looks. These add a great degree of comfort and help me control the pistol. So the initial ergos of just how it feels in my hand is awesome. Now, a lot of you guys like a little reference point of where you would want to put your trigger finger. I'm right-handed, but don't worry, it's on both sides. Right where I would put my trigger finger, right on the slide. And that's what this little indexing pad, if you will, is. Perfect. Same thing when I come over here with my support hand. Now, I shoot with a thumbs forward grip. You guys may shoot other ways, but in my case, it gives me a spot right here with that little dished out scalped area for my thumb. And that's actually, again, if I were to say, hey, I have $1 million, I'm going to pay to get a pistol custom made, like literally just for me, this is what I would have it shaped like. I'm not joking with you guys. Could I probably have a better pistol made than this for $1 million? I hope so, but I don't know. But it wouldn't be any more comfortable. And that's why when I tell you guys how much I truly enjoy shooting these type of pistols, and this G3C is no different, I'm really not joking with you guys. So Ergos is just awesome. The texturing is fine. Maybe a little on the aggressive side, but I'm not complaining. Now in the unboxing, I noticed a couple things that I wasn't quite sure enough. And now that I've actually used the pistol, I'm going to give you guys some updates. So the controls. We have our mag release right here, which these magazines are completely drop free. I actually caught it. You guys don't get to laugh at me. Very shiny blue slick surface on these mags. Very nice. So your mag catch release button right here. Your safety. And your slide stop or slide release. I don't care what you call it here, guys. Either way is fine with me. Are all Teflon coated. And out of the box, just like a lot of guns are, there might have been a little packing oil on there. After I wiped it off, you know, I was like, well, let's give it another chance. Because if you remember in the unboxing, I was just a little bit leery. Why do I have Teflon on my controls when I want them to maybe be a little grippy? So I make sure I get it. But you know what? I think we're going to be just fine. And actually, it adds a little bit of comfort, the little bit smoother surface with the Teflon on here than the G2C, where it was a kind of a phosphate. Look, I'm really nitpicking, guys. But since I brought it up in the original video, I thought I'd tell you guys, I think I'm fine with these controls. I'm able to run this slide catch, slide release right here like it's nothing. Not a problem. The safety's easy for me to gauge up and down. And it's also very easy for me to actuate this mag release. And ergonomic, by the way, too. I can just take my thumb right over here and release. Now, one more quick pointer if you guys aren't used to this pistol. Your pinky is going to be gripping on the actual base plate of the mag. I've caught myself doing this, and I'm sure you guys have too. Sometimes you go to hit the mag release and it kind of snags a little bit, like right here. It's because I was being a dummy and didn't let my pinky free. Now, longer handguns like a G3 or whatnot, you can just keep your pinky right there, but just keep that in mind. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I actually have a couple times on this pistol and the G2C just sitting here messing around with, you know, practicing mag reloads. I'm like, why won't it drop? Oh, pinky's there, so keep that in mind. But no, the mag release is very easy to use. Really shoots it right out of there, so there you guys go. So I think the controls are going to be fine. I don't have a problem with the Teflon, but I don't have a problem with the finish, whatever it is, that mysterious Taurus finish. It's like not quite paint. It's not quite Cerakote. It's not quite phosphate. It's just something, right, that's on the older Taurus pistols. But I'm fine either way, and I think this Teflon's good to go. So there you guys are. Now, the finish on the slide. One of the big upgrades to this is that they're actually using a nitride type finish here. Okay, they call this Tenifer. Now, when you think Tenifer, don't think the Tenifer that's on your Glock. The Glock finish that I've had on all of mine are very smooth. This type of Tenifer has a little bit of grit to it. I wouldn't say that the quality of the finish from an aesthetic purpose is quite as nice as a Glock, just to be honest. However, I'm actually really liking this finish from just a utility function standpoint, because although when you first look at it, it kind of has a little bit of a matte gritty look, which that is what they said this has, a matte Tenifer finish. It actually still provides a little bit of traction. So even if I'm not on the rear or front cocking serrations, I can still get enough grip on my finger here, you know, to rack this slide. So it's actually, I think, a nice finish. And I took it out. I took my dump truck, my dump stake truck out with me, and I was just setting these all on the back. And I wasn't like roughhousing it, but I had a little bit of gravel and remnants left from previous jobs and was just kind of setting this back there. And I noticed it got a couple little white spots on it. And I said, oh boy, did I already scratch the finish? No, it was just a little bit of white, you know, dust that I would dust off. And the finish is actually good. Now, I haven't thrown this around on the ground or drug it behind a truck, but already I can tell you, I think the finish on the slide is actually a pretty big improvement. It still has just enough, I don't want to call it quite grittiness, but just enough texture to it where it's really aiding in the racking of this slide. So the finish, the tenifer, I'm really liking that too. Now another thing, this has the front cocking serrations rather than the scallop dished out area. During the initial unboxing, I wasn't quite sure. But now that I've actually shot it and racked the slide quite a bit, go back and check my playlist. You guys know I'm a big advocate for dry racking the slide, dry firing, snap caps, all that stuff. I've done videos on all of it. And just sitting here messing around, even though I don't normally press check, I still practice racking the slide this way, mainly from the rear. I practice different ways because you never know the scenario. And I think I like these front cocking serrations, guys. They're not huge, they're just enough, but I think I like them. The scallops on the G2C look good, but I have occasionally gone to press check or rack it from the front and had my fingers kind of slip off, and then you kind of stub your finger on the corners here where the slide meets the chamber hood. I like the front slide cocking serrations, guys. I really do. So that's definitely a plus. Alright, the sights. This is another one of the, and I'm saying upgrades. In your opinion, it could be a downgrade. So I'm using upgrades as in the next evolution in the Taurus series. It has Glock sights, which the plus about that is these are going to take so many sights, like we couldn't even count them all, because as you guys already know, whether you like Glock or not, there's more aftermarket Glock parts available than any model of handgun, and I don't even think it's debatable or close. So your options are going to be almost endless, right? So that's cool. Now, I will say that this is driftable inside of the dovetail, but this is not adjustable with the screws like your Taurus G2C sight. So that's why I'm trying to just give you my opinion, but I perfectly understand. For some of you, these sights are an upgrade. For some of you, it's a downgrade. I like that it takes Glock sights though. However, after shooting the pistol, I'm actually really don't care for the sights that come with it. And they're metal sights, which is nice. That's more than what Glock gives you brand new. Hey, just calling a spade, Glock, guys. But I don't like them, and here's why. But they're Glock sights, so that's going to be a future video. Let me know down in the comments, by the way, aftermarket sights you guys might want to see on this, right? Glock sights, of course, that you would want to see. These are blacked out rear sights. I know this is the craze. I know this is the fad. A lot of people like this. I don't. Also, look at the back of the sight. I had it zoomed in. There you go. There's horizontal ridges, serrations in here that the camera's picking up, but the naked eye definitely picks up. Now the front has a single white dot, the front sight, that I would note is not very bright white, and it's not very large. So when you combine that, we have a small white sight there in the front that's a little bit hard to pick up, especially if lighting's somewhat dim, with a blacked out rear sight. I basically don't have anything in the rear to guide me to the front. Well, okay, focus on your front sight. That's what many instructors say, and you guys already know I'm not an instructor. But the problem is I'm having a hard time focusing on the front sight because it's not very large. The dot's very small. The dot is a very faint white, and just to be honest, it has a little smidgen of almost looks like dirt or grime or something in it that's not really coming off. I kind of used a Q-tip. And there's like a soft substance, some kind of like shmoo they squirt in there. I don't watch them build these pistols, but there's something in there that they put in, and I think like maybe it was dirty when they put it in there. I don't know. You guys might know more about it than me, but it's kind of a dirty white, and there was like little fuzzies in it. I cleaned it up a little bit with alcohol and a Q-tip. But at the end of the day, it's hard for me to focus on this rather small and dim front sight. No cameraman in the room, guys. This is perfectly safe. I know exactly what's behind the camera and the wall, okay? I'm having a hard time picking up on this front sight. I have no dots in the rear to be able to focus on the front sight. Also, they're adding horizontal serrations that the camera's just not going to probably do it justice, but they're actually quite large when you're looking at them, and my eye gets distracted, and that's kind of what I want to see, is those horizontal serrations. So it took me a minute. Now, I was close to the steel plate, and I could have just point shooted it without having sights at all, but it took me a minute. Now here's my little complaint, and I'm not going to shred the pistol. I love the pistol, guys, but these are honest reviews, and if there's something little that I don't like, I'm going to tell you that. If there's a lot I don't like, and if I hated the pistol, I'd tell you that. No, I don't hate it. I love it. I don't like the sights. Here's my kind of beef, if you guys will. Let me know what you guys think. Why not just put 2 white dots in the rear sight? Because many people like a 3-dot sighting system, okay? Because almost everybody has a black Sharpie marker or access to one, or some black tester's paint, a little toothpick. If you start off by giving a guy 2, or gal, for all you gun gals out there, I love you too. If you give somebody 2 rear white dots, they can color it in black on their own in 2 seconds, probably for free with their Sharpie, you know. But when you don't give it to somebody, now I'd have to maybe drill little holes and make sure they're centered and then put white paint. And then I'm still dealing with these serrations in the back. So, no, I'm not a fan of the blacked out sights. For all the people that love blacked out sights, just give us the white dots and everyone can fill them in with Sharpie if they don't like them. That's just my 2 cents. I'm sure you guys will have your opinions one way or another on that. So, Ergonomics, awesome. I love the finish of the slide. I love the serrations. I don't like the sights that come with it. So I'm really glad these come with Glock sights, because I'm going to have so many options, and I'm going to be looking for all of you guys' feedback to see which ones maybe I should try out on this. As far as the fit and finish of how the gun actually operates, very smooth. Okay, I put a couple 100 rounds through this. Nice. Really nothing to say bad. Exactly what I would expect. Actually smoother than what I would expect, to be honest. Very, very nice. Safety works like it should. Alright. The trigger. In the initial review I said, I don't know, this trigger doesn't feel quite as good as my G3. Even though, by looking at it, I'm convinced this is indeed a G3 trigger. But the pistol wasn't broken in yet, and I tried to make that crystal clear, and there's a reason why I did. I find so many of these pistols, they'll actually lose like a pound or 2, or sometimes even 3 pounds off the trigger pull after putting a couple 100 rounds through it, in conjunction with hundreds of dry fire trigger pulls, racking, things like that. And I will say, this is a good trigger. It cleaned up a lot, just doing a little bit of practice shooting, a little bit of practice dry firing, and yeah, the trigger's nice. I'll show you guys the single action here. Depress the blade safety. I felt like 3 different stages, guys, before. I still feel a little bit of a hitch at the very end, but it's cleaned up a lot. I bet you a couple 100 more rounds and it'll be virtually, if not gone outright. So, nice and crisp. I'll reset. Right there. And a nice crisp short follow-up shot. Now, if the primer didn't ignite and you wanted to do the restrike or double action, same thing. Not bad. Pretty smooth, really. I mean, this is not a revolver trigger, guys, but for a little semi-auto, striker fired, we're looking good. I'm really liking the trigger. Now, some people have said they don't like how you have to pull the trigger all the way to the back for the striker to drop. And that's true. You do have to pull it pretty much all the way to the back, even in single action. It releases right as it hits. Now, there is a little over travel nub that sticks out on the back of this trigger shoe. You might be able to see that on the bottom. You can just barely see it on the bottom there. And that's actually what makes contact with the frame. So you're not completely pulling it to the back, but almost. That's never been a problem for me, though, with this pistol. So I'm not worried about it. But some people have noted that it does break. Yeah, the over travel stop on the back of the trigger shoe does literally touch the frame. But there's no over travel, so yeah. I like that there's no over travel, by the way. So it's not bad. But some of you guys aren't going to necessarily like that. I'm cool with it. Controls are real easy to use, guys. And I will say, they're very comfortable. I really think the Teflon is fine. We'll see as time goes on. Probably going to give it some more corrosion resistance, wear resistance. So I'm going to go with that being a good thing for sure. I'm trying to think. There's probably something else I forgot on this, but there's going to be tons of follow-up videos. G3C versus G2C. G3 versus G3C. All the different mags, all the different types of ammo. Like I said, I've already recorded more shooting of this. I don't want this video to be too awfully long, so let's head out to the range and see how this did for its first shots. Alright guys, so this is the moment that maybe you've been waiting for, and I know for sure I am. These are the first shots with the new Taurus G3C. I'm going to be using G3C mags and G2C mags, which are essentially the same mag. One teeny difference, which won't really matter. And I'm going to shoot a variety of ammo and let's see what it does. And then we'll try the G3 mags and some SIG mags and just keep having fun. So to start off with, I've got a couple 12 round mags here loaded up with the Federal 115 grain brass round nose. So let's see what it does. I will note that it did auto chamber upon insertion of the mag. Alright, ate the mag just fine. I'm just shooting a steel plate. Right away, it's taking me just a second to get used to these blacked out rear sights. Most of mine have the 2 dots in the rear, but so far so good. Let's try 12 more of the Federal. Alright, it's eating it right up. Alright, well, as you can see, it was flawless. I'm really happy to report that because I wanted to like this pistol, but if it failed, I would have told you that. So overall, I'm really liking it. The felt recoil, not bad at all. You're going to see in a follow-up video very soon some plus P and some more defensive ammo and things like that. But shooting the ball rounds, the practice ammo, awesome. Very, very comfortable. I could literally sit and shoot this pistol all day long. Like I said earlier, it's like it was made for my hand, to be honest with you. So I had a blast shooting it. I've not cleaned it yet. I've got a couple 100 rounds through it as all so far. A variety of ammo. I'll definitely keep an eye on it. I have put a few drops of lubricant on it. I don't want to do a torture test and just try to kill the darn thing, but I'll let it go a little bit more before I clean it, just to report to you guys and let you know. But yeah, very, very good first impressions. I'm really, really glad I got this pistol. And I know a lot of you guys have just recently purchased these, or you're thinking about it. I will say this, and this hopefully isn't relevant to people watching this years from now. You know, we're looking at middle of July 2020. We're in tough times right now, guys, for many reasons. Probably many good reasons. Pistol sales are at an all-time record high. These come in stock. Then they go. They come and go. They're different prices, all different places. I hear you. You know, I spent $280 on this out of my own money, free shipping. Some of you guys have done better since then. Some of you guys have done a little worse. Some of you can't find them at all. I don't really have an answer except for that if you can get one of these, don't rip yourself off. But if you can get one of these in the, I don't know, $280, $300-ish range, seems great so far. I know a lot about these type of pistols from the G3 and the G2C, but this pistol's a little different, and so far, I do see some different, advancements and upgrades. I still like the G2C a lot, though, and I still like the G3 a lot, and that's why I'm looking forward to doing comparison videos. But so far, I don't have enough rounds to tell you guys this will go 10,000 rounds yet. I just don't. I haven't had it too long, and I also shoot plenty of other pistols that you guys are going to see in reviews very soon, so I'm going to say so far I definitely recommend it. One other quick note that I just remembered at the last second. I'm going to look at where they put the serial number here. And this is interesting, and I want you guys to opine on this with me. The serial number's in here. Almost like this gun has a chassis system, like with the serial being here on the trigger group area. Okay? I'm not saying Taurus is going to do this, but I certainly hope they do. It is possible. Just the fact that they're putting this little windowed serial number in here, that these could become modular later on, where you have one gun and the serial number's right here. And maybe you could buy different frames. You know, you can do them for a lot of the SIGs, and they're really cheap, like 30 bucks, maybe 40, 50 bucks. You can just keep swapping frames with different lengths, different textures, different colors. I have no insider knowledge, guys. I don't even know anyone at Taurus, and they don't know me. But just the fact that they decided to do this tells me that maybe there's a chance that they're looking to make these into a modular chassis type system where you can just change out the internals with different frames. I'd be curious to get some of your opinions on that too, because I'm sure you guys have probably noticed that, and maybe you're thinking the same thing, right? Alright, by popular request, and after the unboxing and the Q&A, I asked you guys, what about that Viridian laser? $30 coupon code that I showed in the last video. I bought one. It's on the way. So I'm going to mount the laser, the Viridian laser that's sold at Taurus. So expect reviews on that. I'm going to look at a light option. Suggestions welcome on that if you guys are curious. I have a couple lights, but you know, we'll see what you guys are liking there, and I'll see what I've got. But yeah, I'm going to take this out and keep shooting it. There's more shooting footage already recorded. You guys are going to see it shooting with different sizes of mags, a wide variety of ammo. Yes, steel case. So if you don't want to see that, then just close your eyes for a few seconds in the next video. So, alright guys, Taurus G3C. I'm really loving it, and you guys probably aren't surprised, and I hope all of you guys are loving yours. And I'm definitely excited to put out more videos on this pistol and many other guns that I'm in the middle of reviewing too. Alright, let me know in the comments what you guys think so far. I want to hear some of your stories, and just give me requests. This channel is just to hang out and have fun with you guys. Hey, maybe you guys will learn something, and I'm certainly always learning from you all too. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a good one.